not prepared! Another round? Why do you... You are not prepared! You are not!
This guy's toast.
Leroy! Not prepared!
Goodbye.
Welcome. THL reveal show. Seems like it's just been a couple days since we did this last. Welcome to the THL reveal show, everybody. We are joined by a few of the established THLers in our series here. So we got Disco. How you doing, Disco?
I'm an established THLer.
You
I'm
are?
honored.
You are?
Happy to be here. Happy to talk about Wild and Pro. Mostly Wild.
He is a
Yeah,
wild
that's
guy.
correct.
So Disco's going to be our color commentator for Wild series. And we were joined also by LotusKnight and Dusharmo.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Hey,
These
I went to work the first time today
What?
in like a month.
What is work?
I know, right? I'm a teacher, so the governor kind of loosened up some things, so
I hear you
they
got a
made me go to
problem.
work. So
Well, that's a good thing.
Huh.
So the governor is your wife, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
no, the actual governor of Texas.
Oh, okay. Just double checking. Itachi may end up joining us tonight. Maybe something happened there, but once he gets on, we'll introduce him as well. He's been around the block a couple times, maybe 2, 4, many seasons. So wanted some of his expertise as well on the Pro Series, and I think this is going to be, well, it's pretty much everybody's fun in the sun with Wild series, so should be interesting.
You know, Saku, did anyone ever tell you that like you have a very soothing voice? Like I feel like I could fall asleep to your voice listening to it, like you're reading a book to me or something.
Yeah, I put my daughter to sleep pretty much every time, so. And my wife.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good thing. It's just very soothing. It's like you could just get real close to the mic and start talking on, like NPR or something.
There you go.
Welcome
That's
to
true.
Saku's
Welcome to Saku's
THL
stream.
Madness.
Yeah,
It sounds like an
Yeah.
old radialist voice.
there you go.
It is.
So we have 12 teams in Pro Series, which was the same. Is that the same amount of pro teams that were last season in season 2? I believe.
I think so.
I believe so.
And then we have for the Wild Series we have 16 teams. So that's
Yeah.
that's a big jump. So Dusharmo, if
Yeah,
you wanna-
Wild has been hype.
Yeah, it has. It's been awesome to see. I know there was a lot of interests in the past, but just never, I guess never pressed the button to say, yeah, all right, let's try it. So this season it seems to be a good focus and a lot more interest involved. So Disco, if you had any add-ons of why there's a lot of interest in Wild now? If you have any.
Because the THL experience is very unique, especially in Wild. Like in Standard, you have other tournaments from other organizations. You have Grandmasters, Masters Tour. In Wild, there is nothing. There's occasionally a tournament held one day type thing. Nothing in a team environment. Nothing over several weeks. Nothing where there's a really, really skilled population playing together. And so people are seeing that and they're saying this is new, this is unique. And if you build it, they will come. And we have a lot of good people playing in Wild Series this season.
Yeah, and some pretty big names from what I understand from the wild scene.
It's also kind of a blast from the past because we got 3 players on a team instead of 5, and oddly enough, that's how the THL started out a long time ago. I wasn't there for
Really?
that, but yeah, it started off as a 3-man team. I think the initial season was a 3-man team, and
Was
and
there
then
PR when they started?
yes, there was a PR when they started.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's kind of cool. I like the 3-man team dynamic. I think it feels like, like you're playing like 5-team, you're playing 5-on-5 basketball. This is like 3-on-3. It's smaller, so you have more of a impact on what you do on your team. Every
Right.
player has a really huge impact.
Yeah, so it should prove interesting this season to see how that works out, and if it works out to be five players per team, and we still get the same team names or numbers. Wow, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
So
that's
all right.
true.
So you guys ready to get into the Pro Series first? This is going to be our quick focus. So we are going to introduce the team, then the players, and just have a quick blurb for about maybe up to 2 minutes per team. Then
Okay.
we'll flip over to Wild and do the same thing. But in the second part of Wild Series, since we have 16 teams, we are going to use the Wheel of Doom, which will determine where those Wild teams fall in which conference. So we have a green conference and we have a brown conference. So
Ooh.
so those two things, and the other little small portion after everything's done, we'll have a quick top 5 from each of the hosts here, and then we'll just close it off. So let us get over to Pro Series right now. I'm just going to change the screen, hopefully. There we go. So forgot to hide some stuff. So we'll start off with the first team. If Dusharmo wants to start.
Sure. Our first team is F2L, formerly known as FTL, and it pretty much exactly the same as was last season, I believe. These are all the same players. Everybody's returning. They're 2-time champions. We have Captain Icon, then we have Snake, Zerk, Rebobson, Itachi, and Liquidox.
Right. And the
And
captain.
I think this team's strong, still
Yeah.
strong. Sort of the target team for everyone to beat.
And Disco, got a quick blurb.
Sorry. Are we still talking about F2L? Or are we?
Yeah,
moving
FTL.
to
No,
the-
FTL.
I mean, once again, I know very little about the Pro Series, but I mean, they won. It's a good lineup, and honestly, they're gonna have to really do badly in order to change my opinion of them, which is they're gonna do well.
Yeah, I think something to add here is just the difference between Pro and Legacy/Hero is that for Pro, you can actually go to team twice. So you're going to see some powerhouse teams that can stick together for quite a while. And F2L has been one of those. So let's see if they can keep it up another season.
All right. Let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the Unknown. So I'll start with this one. So we got Solo Jazz, some guy named Dusharmo, Run Mexico, Catman 1950, and Brushy Tuna. So this team has been together, I'm going to say this would be the 3rd season. Is that right, Dusharmo?
Yes,
So
3rd season.
And they got
No changes.
pretty dang close to a championship. And pretty proud of these guys. Dusharmo asked me to help him do the team awards for the team, and hopefully it turned out okay. But
It's really good, man. It really helped out a lot.
so, and Lotus, do you have any comments for this group?
This is another strong team. They've made they were able to get to semifinals twice and finals once, if I'm not mistaken.
Semifinals.
So
Finals.
yeah,
But
so
we lost to the champions both times. So we lost to FTL twice. In
So
both seasons.
I'm hoping this is the charm for them and they can make it, or we'll see. I think they're a strong team. They have a lot of very strong THL players, and I expect them to do well.
You know, kind of sort of the underrated player on this team, I'm going to point out Solo Jazz. He is a really freaking good player. And not many people talk about him because he only plays in one series, and that's Pro Series.
And that's Pro, yeah.
So, they said they're hearing an echo there.
Well, for me?
I don't know. Maybe not. But Solo Jazz, very underrated. And I got some really strong play. Ron Mexico.
Who?
Almost the second place crossover player. Catman, just really strong one seed. And of course, Tuna, the Pro Series extraordinaire.
Yeah. So you get the same team and it's probably the same result. Let's see if we can get a chip this year. So this season. So all right. So let's bounce over to the next team. If LotusKnight wants to, or sorry, Disco.
I can do the next one. It's the Beard Boys, captained by Boozosaurus, and it includes Honest Zabe, Myanodon, Inzi, and Lesamos. Forgive the terrible pronunciations. I'm very interested to see how this team does. Really, really good players. So will that translate into making the playoffs, making a playoff run, or will it just mean they get a middle result? I honestly don't know, but I'm very interested to see how they do.
Yeah, this team just barely missed the playoffs last season by like a point.
It was pretty close.
So very strong team. There are some changes on the team, though. I don't believe Inzi was on the team last season. But he is also a very strong player.
All right. So let's go to the next team here. It's for the boys. So, Lotus, you want to take this one?
Sure, let's talk about For the Boys. For the Boys has, I think most of their players are returning, if I'm not mistaken. Diamond is captaining as usual, and they have Dabs, Basedink, Triss, Nine Eyebrows, and Mata. This seems like a very strong team. They did very well last time. I think, did they make playoffs or they almost made playoffs? They're definitely close. So I would expect them to be around. These are all strong players who can get there if things work out well.
I was trying to follow which team Diamond had because he has so many. So,
It's the menagerie, right?
it was the menagerie.
I can't keep track either.
Yeah, so and they did pretty well late. I think it was late in the season. They had a little bit of a rough start, but
They had a rough start, yes.
yeah. But they should, if they kept the same core guys, then they should do fairly well this season. So I think we're going to end up saying that pretty much all throughout this reveal, but because it's hard to predict. So. All right. So I will. Well, if Dusharmo wants to do the next one.
All right. The next team is a new team to the Pro Series. It's called Stay the Blazes Home.
Yep.
Yes. Please stay the Blazes home. Do not go out and do stupid things. All right. I'm just kidding. Stay the Blazes home is captained by Saku. And a lot of players on here I'm not familiar with. I'm familiar with Tweeg, the name, because I think we talked about him.
Yep.
But the rest of them I am not familiar with. So let's just go through the names. Tweeg, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Yoster,
Yeah, Yachtster.
Wangor,
Yep.
Corridon, and Phoenix 072.
Mm-hmm.
So, Saku, this is your team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your team?
Well, this whole team is a bunch of guys from Nova Scotia, and the team name itself came from our premier, which is almost similar to a governor, with a warning to the residents of Nova Scotia to stop going out there and being stupid doing the COVID virus, and asked everybody to stay the blazes home. So that's where it started turning into T-shirts. So we figured might as well just stick with that theme and do the Stay the Blazes Home team name. So Tweeg, who's played in THL, I think not the last 2 seasons, but he's a really, really good player. He's all the players that we have that's on the team have actually all been to some local events, and they showed some interest this season to try out the Pro Series. So we'll see how we fare. So it should be exciting. We're ready to go.
And they got a good captain, somebody who cares and can direct them. Been around the THL for a while, so.
And if they falter, then they're all fired. So love you guys.
Saku's got the sweet voice, but you mess around with him, oh man, here comes the pain.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm disappointed in you guys. There you go.
Saku's the kind of guy that just looks at you. He just kind of looks at you, and you're like, no, I know I messed up.
Yeah, the old dad voice. So
you didn't even change your tone and inflection. You keep the sweet voice that you always have. You're just like, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, no, we'll see how these guys enjoy the THL, and since this will be their first time, except for Tweeg, they're excited. So let's go ahead.
I was just gonna say, these kind of teams always interest me because they're new players, and oftentimes people underestimate new players. And sometimes you build really strong teams with new players. I've seen it happen where teams roll through the regular season because people just underestimate some new players. And I'm thinking of like in Legacy last season, we had Lemons just go undefeated at the 3 seed. So like you never know. These kind of teams, you look at them and you're like, but they're, you rank them last, but you never know. This team might be a team that to watch out for. So.
Yep.
Yeah. New players are especially strong in Legacy/Hero, and you can see a few seasons ago we had Aves in BDSM, and he carried our team really hard. So it's always interesting to see new players coming in and all the potential they.
Exactly.
That's BDSM for big deck, small mechs. So
that's right.
Just pointing that out.
Yes, I never said anything wrong.
Nope, but you didn't elaborate either. Dusharmo had to do that, so that's fine. All right, so let's move on to the next team. So if Disco wants to jump in on this one.
All right, this is and I can't read, Washu Mishas.
That's it.
With Captain Heat Shock, ESO Glokia F2P, Valdis, Heat Shock as a player, Egernir, and Ufric.
I gave you all the hard teams to read out.
I know. this team.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. What?
Outside of Heat Shock is the only name I'm pretty familiar with. And
especially Agranir or Nair.
Yes. Agonar or Agonir.
And Ofric's name sounds like when you mess up and you don't want to say a bad word, like, oh, yeah. Frick. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but interesting players.
Yep, interesting player names.
Yeah.
Again, outside of Heat Shock, I think that was his first season, was last season in Pro, I believe. But the other individuals are all new too. All right, you guys want to roll on to the next one?
Just real quick, again, just like Saku's team, a lot of players we don't know, and again, just you gotta if you you got to do your research on them while in the middle of the season. You know, if you play them the first week, good luck because you have no idea. You're just gonna have to go in there and play your best. But middle season, kind of look and see how they're doing, and you know, see if they're a team to watch out for.
Yep.
You never know.
Right. Something to add is just. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love the name too. I remember going to DreamHack a while ago, and this was back when Hero of the Storm was an esport. And I remember sitting down in the stands. They had like a big stand. Well, CS:GO had a bigger one, but Heroes of the Storm had a smaller one. But it was really cool. It was filled to everybody. And I remember watching the stream, players playing up there, and Misha would come out, and everyone would shout, "Misha, Misha!" It was so awesome. It was like one of the best. My wife, who is not even a Hearthstone or Hero of the Storm fan, was having a blast. Just like because it's a little bear like that Rexar is playing, and the bear charges, and everyone's yelling Misha. It was really awesome. So this brings me back some memories from that.
Just a fun experience. Yep.
Yeah.
Just to add something that Avi posted in chat, they are 3/5 of a TESPA team that has been doing pretty well. So we can expect them to do fairly solid if we compare our level to.
There you go. All right, so let's go to the next one here. I'll start with this one. I guess we have Captain. So we every day we trifling or trifling. Yeah, I'm gonna say trifling. It's tripping my tongue's not working well. But so we got Captain Skittles or Skills if you just take out the lowercase letters. Your mom kid, Little Hearthy, Sanguine, Agent PWE or Pew Pew as I call him. And then we have Jimmy Eats Shoes. So not sure if this team was all the same from last season. I think Sanguine was on somebody else, but let's just try to remember.
Jimmy wasn't there.
Jimmy I know is new. Yeah.
This was Taste the Rainbow last season.
That's right. Yeah, because Skittles Taste the Rainbow.
There's
Makes sense.
the only two returning players on this team are Skittles and Skittles actually is not even playing in this one.
Nope.
So he's a captain, and the only really returning player is Mom Kid. Everybody else had moved on and is sort of a replacement from another team.
Another team. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any names you recognize, Disco? Somebody named Agent?
Someone named Agent. I'm very interested to see how Agent does in Pro. Especially because he also played Legacy, and he did decently. But Openlist is going to be new.
Yep.
But I'm very confident in him. Him and Lil Hearthy on the same team is very exciting. I'm hoping they do well.
Yeah, and a lot of these are a lot of players that I know. I know every single player up here. I've seen them before. I've talked to them, but they're all capable players. And Little Hearthy was the MVP of the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the MVP on their team from last season. So that's already a start. And Agent PWE, really great player. I played against him twice last season, and he's really good. So, and I love the logos that are the most jankiest.
Yeah.
It's just like cut off someone's head and then plastered it on.
And then the word at the
I-
bottom is all chopped up with trifling, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job, Skittles.
I
Whoever did
love
the graphic.
these teams like this. It's awesome. So and I was thinking that it's trifling. I'm pretty sure it's trifling.
Yeah, it's trifling.
But if you say triflin, it sounds like a drug that you get for your grandma or something. I don't know.
That's true.
We'll roll with that.
Every day we triflin.
We're on trifling. There we go. All right. So we'll move on to the next one.
So just
let us.
one last thing to add before that. I just want to say Skittles. I say this a lot. I played with him in duos. It's just having Skittles in a team is really good because he obsesses so much over lineups and decks. It's kind of crazy. He's way better than I am, so I think this team has a very big chance just because they have great players. They have him to do that kind of work. It's going to be very solid.
Yeah, Skittles is very fun to play with in Hero simply because he does exactly that. He's very meticulous about his deck choices, and he's really helpful in making sure everyone on his teams knows exactly what they need to do in order to do well. So, team's got a good captain, they're going to do well.
Because he's got the skills. Get it?
The skills or Skittles.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Jimmy Eat Shoes a 5-seed player in other series? Might be wrong.
Reportedly, yes. We'll see. If he's in
Yeah,
pro.
but like, well, I'm just saying, like, seeing 5-seed players play in pro, it's got to scare you. If you're a 5-seed and you're playing against them in other series, it's it shows. I think there was a pro player a couple seasons ago who did actually pretty good in pro and was just tearing the 5-seed. So I'm interested to see how this team works out.
All right. So let us go to the next one.
Oh, I love the name of this one. I get it.
So Dusharmo gets to do the name and the team.
Due Process, captained by JR Juggalaw. JR Juggalaw has been around for a very long time in the THL.
Just a couple days.
Yeah, just a couple days. He was on the first team that I was on, the Hero Power Rangers, back a long time ago, where we made the semifinals, like I think 3 seasons in a row, and he's a really good player. And oddly enough, if you get the name Due Process, he is a lawyer. I don't know if you get it from his name, so I like it. It's Due Process. He's going to give all the teams are going to get their due process, going to get their butts whipped. So at least that's the way I say it.
Hence the pointed hair, pointing.
I like
guy.
the pointing. But let me go to the team real quick. So Captain JR Juggalaw, and you got Dr. Bombed.
Yep.
Boolean, JR Juggalaw, Goose, and It's Me, Mike V. So some names I see up there, and I'm interested to see how this team works out. But I just want them, every time they win, I just want them to go, you got your due process.
So yeah, right in the Pro Series chat. That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's a new team. It's not a new name because I think they had this name a couple seasons ago when it was a JR and name is escaping me now. Jetlaw, I think it was. They were on the same team. So
yeah, I like it. I like the name. It's really cool. And I'm good. These are good players up here. You know, they could do some work. So we'll see.
They can rip it. So
Yep.
all right, we'll give this one to this next one coming up is going to go for Disco. Some easy names to remember here.
All right, this is... Okay, I know you said these were easy names, but I can't even pronounce the title.
It's Aeon. Yeah.
Aeon? Okay, I want to say Eon, but Aeon. Captained by 2-star Mako. Players are Ridiculous Hat, Coles, Donde, Fuel, and Markshire.
Yep.
So, for whatever reason, last season people did not like this team, and
It continues
stories
on.
were suggested, and I don't know why, but if there's a bandwagon, might as well hop on it. So
The hate train is here. So
Yeah, and we also see the return of Fuel in this team.
yeah.
I know you didn't get to say the name. Oh,
Yeah.
you did say the name, right?
Yep. So I get to say for this season, Fuel's a bum because that's our normal banter back and forth. So
geez, man, like,
yeah,
can this team get any more ridiculous than it already is?
it's
Coles, Fuel, our hat, and Donde, and even Mark. This team is just ridiculous. I mean, if you were to go and talk about players who are like sort of all pro players from THL seasons past and Legacy and Hero, this would be a team that you would see. You would be like, all right, I want to pick the best players from the past in the THL. You would pick these players listed right here. So really strong team. And like Travis said, I love the meme. The guy just driving the bike and sticking the
stick in the wheels.
spokes.
Yep, spokes. Lotus, you got any comments on this team? Or it's a no comment.
I mean, this team is a Donde team, so I need to just spite him a little bit. I think that hurts the team a lot. But other than that, I think they have strong players. I think they have a good chance. Fuel is coming back, so let's see if he can bring it in like last times. I'm excited to see them. I want to see them do better than they did last time, if possible.
And Fuel being on a good add-on, probably to keep up with the Joneses there. So
Well, he's filling big shoes. I believe
Typhoon, yeah, my boy Typhoon there.
Was filling, and he was like 6-1. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he went 7-1, right?
something like that.
yeah, he was a pickup after, so it worked out pretty well for them. So, all right, so let's go on to the next one, which is I'll do this one. Or Lotus, if you want to go ahead.
Sure, I'll talk about this one. So now we have Bad to the Bone. Bad to the Bone is changing from last season. Ego Waffle is playing. Avi is captaining and coming back. A2 Battleship is also back from last season. I am here. LotusKnight joining this team. And Farron, I believe, is in there. Yeah, Farron. There's a typo in the thingy, but
Yeah,
Farron is also joining us. So I'm excited for our team. I am biased, yes. So I think this is going to be an insane team.
Yeah, really strong team. Bad to the bone.
fixed.
I believe in the very first season, the alpha season, or they were the champions. So very strong team, really strong players. Easily could win the whole thing. And can you explain?
Oh, Farron is Avi's brother. That's interesting too. Cool.
I just realized. I just figured it out. There's a milk jug there, and it's crossed out. And I was thinking, like, why is there a milk jug there? But it's
No
because you
calcium.
don't drink your milk and you don't have calcium. I just thought about that. That's a pretty neat little thing there.
Yeah. Little disclaimer up in the corner. So, all right. So, get two more teams to announce here for Pro. Next team, Disco. If you want to jump in on this one.
All right, names I can actually pronounce. I'm happy. Tap Last 103, captained by C-Mac, Typhoon, Two's Lawful Dog. C-Mac is playing as well, and The Last Champ. Names I recognize. I have no idea how they did last season, but I mean, you've got some really good players in there, so unless they really mess up, I think they're going to do pretty good.
Yeah.
They were top 4 last season. They made the playoffs. So.
Oh yeah, then they're going to do good. They'll be just fine.
C-Mac and Typhoon are blood brothers. Every team that I see, if they're not on the same team, the following season they seem to jump on the same team again. So good to see those homeboys stick back together, and good to see the Last Champion and Lawful Dog actually jump back into the THL too. So.
Yep, some really strong players here again. All really strong. So definitely could see a repeat playoff here from this team. It just good overall. No weak points.
Yeah, I think I do want to note that Two's is coming back to THL.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can ask her one thing for my pro season is to match against him, because we always play together, and it should be just a fun match if we get to face each other. I'm sure we'll get it on stream if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Lawful Dog this is his return season as well.
Yeah, he just made a comment in chat there about Bill is a convincing man. So.
Yeah, and great player as well. Just really strong. I believe he was in I forgot what it was. He was in the HCT or something like that a while ago, and I believe there was a situation where it was him versus Dog, and they wanted to have like a dog pound match or something. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really good player. When people are talking about you and dog in the same sentence,
Yeah.
it's a person to look out for. So
And then we have the last champ. Last champ being a couple seasons removed. Did pretty. I wasn't sure if he played Hero or Legacy a few seasons ago too. So it's great to see him back too. So strong player. So okay, the last team that we got. Dusharmo, if you want to do this one.
sure. This is a this team is a last edition team. We had a team drop, so this team was kind of the backup team. They already kind of had it ready, and Team Serenity. And anytime I hear the word Serenity, I think that Serenity Now from what was it from Mad TV back in the day? I think it was.
Seinfeld,
Or
I think.
or in Living. Oh, was it Seinfeld?
Yeah,
I think it was Seinfeld. Yeah, Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the team Serenity, captained by Dexter, name I'm very familiar with. And we got okay, these names, come on. GC Turth, Phoenix 14, Crippled God, Dork Vader,
Yep.
and Dexter HS. So again, just like we had mentioned with Stay the Blazes Home and Wash You Misha's, another team with some names that we are not too familiar with. And again, another team you got to look out for. You can't sleep on these teams.
No. Then we got Dexter, who's been in and out of the THL, but for some, work related stuff,
Yeah.
and he's been a I can't remember how many years he's been for Zenergy.
XG. I actually played for Dexter quite a while ago. I don't even know if he remembers me anymore. But he's a great captain. He's one of the best captains I had. I think this is going to be a very strong team. I would not be surprised to see them make the playoffs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, Dexter just pointed out that GC Turth was the Asian Games bronze medalist Hearthstone, and also Temple Storm meta snapshot writer for Paladin and Priest.
Oh.
Yes.
So yeah, good players.
Some
He
decent
did
pickups.
really well when he played Legacy.
Perfect. Okay, so that pretty much concludes all our Pro Series teams. Every team is going to be a strong team, so everybody's going to be number one, and then that'll be a 12 team playoff. Is that going to work? No.
Everybody's going to tie every week.
Yeah.
And there will be ties, and then just ties after ties.
Yeah. And then give her our hat an aneurysm for trying to work out so many spreadsheets and formulas to make sure that doesn't happen. So okay, so now we're going to go into our new Wild series. Thanks for our new viewers there, Mike Lowe. I see you, man. All right, so just a quick touch base on the formats, if you want to touch base on that there, Disco. The newer format.
Yeah. Do you want to do it, Disco, or do you want me to do it?
I can't read it, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead.
I'll do it. All right, Wild Series. It's very similar. It has some similarities with some of the other series that we have. It is 3v3, not 5v5. So 3 players per team. It is Conquest format, just like Legacy, and open deck list, just like Pro. So you will have everybody will post their decks on the same time on Wednesday night, the same time that Pro does it. And when you play your match, you'll know what decks they're playing, and you get your one band. So
Should be interesting.
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into the first team here. Disco.
All right, this is Born to Be Wild, captained by 2-star Mako. We've got Craig of Canada, Nate Wolf TCG, and Danny Donuts. So Craig of Canada, Nate Wolf do a podcast called Born to Be Wild. if you haven't checked it out and you're interested in Wild, I would recommend. Their next episode is going to be with a certain ridiculous hat talking about Discard Warlock, which is going to be very interesting. And then Danny Donuts, he recently made top 500 legend on the Wild Ladder with Reno OTK Demon Hunter. So I'm very excited for this team. I am hoping they bring some fun stuff.
Can you rewind that for a sec? You said Reno
Is it?
Demon Hunter?
Reno OTK Demon Hunter, where you play Metamorphosis, Clockwork Automaton. You've got, I want to say, like a Prince Taldaram in there, and a Garrison Commander. And you just discount all of them with Thorison, and you OTK them with your hero power. And it is one of the most interesting things I've seen, but they made top 500 ladder with it. I'm very excited. I want to see what Danny Donuts brings.
And also, Danny Donuts, I believe, is a member of Well Met as well podcast. If I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so, yes.
I used to listen to that podcast all the time. So I was like, I know Danny Donuts. That name rings a bell. And pretty sure he's on the podcast there for the Well Met.
Yep. We'll have to do some research there. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Dusharmo, if you want to jump in.
Absolutely. All right. So for our next team, we have the Biters, another Diamond Extraordinaire team, and some. The logo, that logo. Oh man, that's from a book. What book is that from?
Monsters Under the Bed or something like that. I can't remember.
Hold on,
old.
Becky. What is this picture from? Sorry, it's my wife's right here. Where the Wild Things Are. There we go. Where the Wild Things Are. It's a little kid's book.
Yeah.
There we go. It really, I love it. The players are 9 eyebrows and based inked. No vowels in except Y. So 9 eyebrows, based ink players I know, very strong players. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be number 3.
Number 3. There you go.
I'm just saying that with the way it's written.
He's saying it with a lisp. I get you. Nope. I don't know if that's Lotus disconnected. Yep. All right, let's rip to the next one. I can do the next one here. So we have Power Creeps. So we got Captain Pasca, who's also going to be a player, Jack, and Meminarch.
I love this logo.
Yeah, I didn't read the text, but
there's always a meme that there's always some sort of 3-drop that's a little bit better than the Iron. What's his name? God, the gorilla. Anyway, but yeah, this is hilarious. It has all of the card names up there from the ones that are some of the 3-drops up there, the better ones. I love it.
Get any comments there, Disco? Since you may know one person on there, maybe.
Disco, 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 disco. I feel like
And Discord is behaving a little weird in terms of connectivity. It kicked me out a few minutes ago.
No, that's your story. I get you.
Yeah, we should have the whenever Disco gets on, we should play the BG
Jack
song.
got second place in the prehistoric bucket tournament,
There we go.
losing to Pasca.
Oh,
This is a really good team. Do not sleep on them. I think they're the ones to beat.
we got a comment in chat there saying Memnarch, or however we pronounce it, is the nuts. So interesting. All right, so that's Lotus. You still with us?
I am here, yes.
Okay. There you go. You get to announce this team.
Okay, so this one is going to be a fun team. We have Mike V, Ron Mexico, and Shadow Ranger in At Least We Have Chicken, an homage to the most recent Hall of Fame edition. This looks like a really good team. Mike V is a solid player. He's been playing the 4 seed for the Albatrosses now. I'm not going to say whether he's coming back or not. You're going to find that out tomorrow in the Legacy reveal. But At Least with Have Chicken looks like a strong team. Wild. I think these are all great players, and there's a good chance they get pretty far.
I also think it's Mike V's first team that he's captain. So
Yeah, that's correct.
I always love
Yes.
when players take the first leap to be captain. THL's always looking for strong captains, and I think Mike V will be a great captain.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're all kind of sharing the captain duty, I think, in Albatrosses, that everyone does a bit of captaining and I don't have to do that much work. And he did a lot of just helping each other and talking a lot to his team. I think he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, he was playing against him in the other series. I think it was Hero or Legacy. I can't remember, but he was nonstop talk of strats and figuring out stuff. So I can see him being a good communicator with this team here too. So should be interesting. That guy named Ron Mexico might be a hindrance, but we'll see. We'll see. Love you, Ron.
They all played in the THL Wild tournament we had
Yeah.
a couple weeks back. They all placed, I think, top 8, and Ron Mexico made top 2. So strong team. All of them have tournament experience, series experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've got a chance to do really well.
Okay, so we'll rip to the next one. Disco.
Who also has that name? At Least We Have Chicken in the voice of Leroy Jenkins in your head. Like every time I see that, I hear in the voice of Leroy Jenkins. At least we have chicken. I just have that in my head for some reason.
I don't know. I kind of liken it to Reno's voice. But anyway,
Is it the same voice actor?
I think so.
All right. Next team, Nuke the Waygate, captained by Silver T Fox, Adam, and Medusas. So, I like the team name. I like what it stands for. Sadly, did not happen. Quasmage is still kicking and is still doing stuff, but I had notes wherever they are. So they all met in a high school league, and they've been on teams together. So this is a team that already has synergy. They don't need to work to, figure things out on their own. So, I mean, they've got potential. They just need to, play against their opponents, do good fundamentals, bring good decks, and I think they'll do well. I think they've got a pretty good shot to do, make playoffs, surprising people.
And yeah, Silver T Fox and Medusa. Well, I'm not sure. Is Adam? They all go to the same school or something to that effect? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, they all met in a high school league.
Okay, cool. The same high school.
The survey didn't say.
Okay, it's all good. All right. So I'll start with the next one. You Sunk My Haddle Ship. I like the title. I'm not sure if our hat was behind that, but I'm going to suspect he was. And they got a couple of interesting individuals who have never played Wild before, I don't think. They probably don't know what button that is, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. Just joking. So Bill Snyder, longtime player THL, A2 Battleship, an awesome player in itself. So it'd be interesting, and I know our hat's getting right into the Wild scene, watching his streams and that stuff. So this is a pretty strong team for a 3-person. Dusharmo, got any comments?
Yeah, well, all names that I know, all names that I'm familiar with, and good strong team. I love the name.
Yep.
Yeah, great name. Also, Chugga Chugga.
And I think that is a sailor's hat on his head,
It
if I'm
is.
not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not outlined very well because of the snow kind of poof, but it works. I'm sure that's what our hat wears when he goes outside in the wintertime. So, because he does love his hats. All right, so let's rip to the next one. And Dusharmo, if you want that one. Okay. Lotus? Or did I lose connection?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
sorry. My mic was muted there for a second. Okay. This team is FTL Viridian. So another FTL, captained by NHLNJFAN
It's an
fan.
NHL New Jersey fan.
Okay. I was just gonna say every single letter in the name, even to spell out the fan. Anyway, these names. SRL and Itachi.
ITACHI.
Yeah, ITACHI. SRL and NHL. I'm just kidding. All right, yeah. So really, so another iteration got Itachi, who's on F2L on Pro Series. Don't believe the other two players are on the F2L team on the Pro Series, but solid players.
Yep.
Nonetheless.
We had the NHL New Jersey fan kind of float in mid series zone and started asking about Wild, and I think that caught fire. So, if I remember correctly, in chat or Discord chat. So, any comments, Disco?
NHL and Itachi both played in the THL Wild tournament. They did very well, making top 8. SRL don't know them, but I'm interested to see how they're doing, especially with the F2L name attached to it. You know, they've got some work to prove themselves.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one, which is a kind of a throwback, but Bitbeaker, Rod Johnson, and I'm not gonna need Boston. We'll just say Boston. So Explosive Sheep, which back in a few, I think when I started, the Explosive Sheep was a hero series, I believe.
Yeah, I remember them.
And they were pretty strong back then too. So, get the information, Disco?
I do. So first off, Rod, I think, also goes by Volkai.
Okay.
So I've seen him in a couple Discords as Volkai, so that was a little confusing. They all met through, outside of THL, through, I want to say, Amber Wings Gaming. My notes are all over the place.
Okay.
I promise I'm normally organized. Here we go. Amber Flight Gaming Discord. So, Bitbeaker, strong player. I don't know what to think of them, honestly. Like, I know they have potential. I'm just curious to see whether or not that's going to translate into game wins.
So, Bitbeaker, and if you're still in chat, can you let us know what Boston's, or is it Nige Boston, or is there a special way to pronounce it?
You've seen my pronunciation so far. I'm not the person to ask.
Well, we'll just get Dusharmo to spell it out, since that's going to be the new meme, so I see in chat. So
NEJI. Just kidding.
all right, so we'll go on to the next team here. So Lotus.
Sure. So the next team is a team that was actually formed on the THL Discord itself. There's Micro Squad with Tilflet, Nafola, and Elusive Script, captained by Agent PWE. So this is an interesting team, and I asked to talk about this one because it's in PWE, and I had a funny interaction in the Discord where they were choosing which of us to captain this one. Uh, it was just a hilarious conversation because they didn't know anything about us. So it was more of who could give the least information while at the same time praising the other and try to convince the captain. It was just hilarious. That being said, they are new to THL, so let's see how they do. I don't know if Disco has any information about them.
Okay.
I do know they have wild experience. Nifola, I think I'm pronouncing that correct, is free to play and has made Legend, which not something you see commonly, but being on a budget and doing well in Wild is definitely possible, and so props to them. Uh, but again, newcomers to THL, they can definitely range from the learning the ropes, learning the system, to they just come in and steamroll everyone. So I'm very curious to see where they land.
Okay, and it's just got updated by Bitbeaker. That Explosive Sheep, Rod Johnson, wasn't able to join the team. It's actually Volkai, so that's a new change from.
Okay, at least I didn't
ago.
confuse them.
Yeah.
They're just entirely different people.
Yep. So
Slightly different.
all right, so we will switch off to Dusharmo. We'll get you to do this one.
All right, this next team is gonna be rich.
I like this graphic.
Yes. That's hilarious. A captain by Blase Blase, The Word, and Trey. I'm not familiar with any of these names, to be honest with you. So, but yeah, I like Blase Blase's name.
So let's see. They Blase Blase and The Word met on Strivewire during a Whispers of the Old God meta tournament. And then Blase and Barillo have been Battle.net friends and just started talking about the Wild format and tournaments, and Blase invited them to come join a team, and well, here they are. Good players. They have tournament experience. They have Wild experience. So I think they're going to do well. I don't think they're necessarily like top of the top, but I think they're going to be consistently good.
And for your viewers out there, I don't know if you get the information. I guess since they have the 3 flags in their logo, I guess. Wonder which person is from where. So.
I do want to know. I didn't know there was another Brazilian THLer. So hello to any Brazilian THLers out there. Hit me up.
I think there is a Brazilian THLer on my team. I'm not sure. Let me double check.
So that'd be interesting to see.
I believe it's Brilio.
Brilio? Okay.
I think.
Because Blase, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, it might be coming from Canada, being Quebec there, so that would make sense. Okay, so let's rip to the next one, which I think is pretty funny. A funny graphic here. Lotus, if you want to do this one, or Sharmo, sorry.
Yeah, sure. This next one is Wild THL Fanatics, captained by Dr. Bombed,
Yep.
Mike Lowe, and Electric Sheep City. Some good names here. And then WTF in the style of WWE.
For all you
Love it.
wrestling fans out there.
I know. Sure Matt likes this one, Men at Arms. Huge wrestling fan.
And Mike Lowe says they're Pog Fire. So that's good. I'm
a little concerned about the acronym, but
it stands out.
Doctor's a good player. Mike is, great person. I know him from a Pauper tournament he ran a while back. Electric Sheep is a streamer. Has made Legend in both Wild and Standard. I want to say playing Odd Rogue. So very good player. And I mean, when you've got a good group of people like this, I think you're going to be in for at least a lot of fun, if not doing well.
Exactly. All right, so we'll jump on to the next one, which I'll do the intro for. I like the graphic in this one too. Who made the graphic? Dusharmo.
I did.
Oh, you did. Good. Okay. So Waygate to Hell. So we have 2 Waygates in the Wild series. That's pretty cool. And then we have Captain Dusharmo and Reverb, and then Gangplank. So, do you have any hidden secrets there, Disco, for this team?
So they did not respond to my survey,
I did. So
you did. Well, my survey did not update, so it's either your fault or the survey's update fault. And do I really want to trust my survey? I appreciate the name. Once again, I'm a little concerned by it, but if you haven't noticed, Waygate is a bit of a problem in Wild, and people are not as happy about it as you'd imagine. Again, I've got a lot of respect for Dusharmo, and any team that he's captaining, I think has the potential to do well. I know of name only of Reverb and Gangplank, or the letter switch version that always confuses me. So I'm optimistic for them. I think they're going to surprise people if they're sleeping on this team.
Mm-hmm. So how did you just recruit them, Dusharmo?
Sorry, my son is crying right here.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
So,
So yeah, these players, a team had dropped last second, and we needed a team to fill, and I said I'd do it, and I asked amazing Pasca to help me out, and he got these 2 fine gentlemen.
yep.
I know Reverb has hit legend in Wild, high legend in Wild, and he was in legend in Standard, and I know Gangplank was like rank 3 Wild a couple times, and he also qualified for the 2019 Wild tournament, I believe it was called. So Pasca really found some strong players here for me at last minute. So we don't know each other, and these 2 players are from the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh,
One
okay.
from Australia, and actually he's not from Brazil. He's from Argentina. So
Argentina. Okay. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's way worse. Way worse.
so
Like, you
Lotus,
shouldn't even have
tell
said
us where
it.
you're at right now. Where are you?
I mean, I'm in Brazil right now. I had to
Okay.
come here for the quarantine.
There you go.
So, if you're from Argentina, I'm sorry. I'm always going to go against you for no reason, really. There's actually no reason other than soccer rivalry. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Well, Argentina's Spanish and Brazil's Portuguese, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So let's get to the next one. Disco, you want to do this one?
Yes, I can. This is Patch's Payback, captained by Jerry Damage. Includes Lefty 2111 and Dirty Mike. So
Some old school players there. So Jerry Damage from way back. Lefty continues to be a very strong player in the THL, and Dirty Mike. All 3 of those guys have been hanging about since the glory days, I think. Sage or somebody might be able to figure out how far back they go. Didn't know Jerry liked Wild, but that's cool, and I enjoy their graphic. It's pretty cool to see.
I believe Jerry is a very old THL player. So
Yep.
he was there back during the 3-person teams, and that's part of the
Yeah.
reason they're back, because 3-people teams for Wild Series.
yeah, Lefty and Dirty Mike, both great players.
Mm-hmm.
And reading through my notes, that's a very, very impressive resume from Jerry. I'm impressed. So I'm interested to see how they do. I don't know how much Wild experience they have overall. Nine No, different team. Lefty played in the tournament, and I played against him, and I think they just trounced me.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm interested to see how they do.
Oh, and also Lefty is we had doing the March Madness. I guess I'm going to throw some shade at Donda here. Why is Lefty the last seed in the entire tournament? Like I play against Lefty as the 1 seed overall, and Lefty is an amazing player.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
is
why is
sick.
that the case? That makes no sense.
I'm just saying, like, there's other players that were seated above him. So I'm just curious.
Donde rules. It's Donde's
But
rules.
yeah,
Donda's
I'm
cheating.
if I lose to Lefty in the March Madness tournament, I'm blaming Donde.
That would be fair.
That's the shoulders, the big shoulders. That's why he has the big shoulders. He can take all that blame.
I'd rather play Sage than Lefty.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Ron Mexico versus Sage. See what happens. So.
Sage always gets Rod Mexico. I think he beat him twice on my pro team.
Yep. So.
Sub twice and beat him twice.
That was so last season, Ron. It's okay. It's okay, bro.
All right.
All right. So let's get to the next one. All right, Detroit versus everybody. So we got Captain Man at Arms, Dewin, and MTG Squirrel. Man at Arms, I was a teammate for last season there for Legacy. Great player. And the other two are new to me, so.
Well, I am very excited about the other two, and Man Arms, don't get me wrong. Dewin is a hunter specialist, plays any type of hunter deck in Wild that you can think of or haven't even thought of. They play it really well. Consistently legend on all 3 servers. So I'm very excited to see what types of decks they bring for this tournament or series. And MTG Squirrel recently made top 30 legend with Big Priest. So yes, Big Priest is still capable of doing well to people's enjoyment or fear. So all of them know each other. They live in Detroit, I believe, and that's how the team was formed. But don't let that fool you. This is a really good team, really strong players. You should probably respect them, if not be afraid of them a little bit.
Are they all from Detroit? Is that the reason why they're?
Yeah, they're all from the same area. I'm not going to say Detroit specifically, but all from the same area.
Oh, Man at Arms says yes, so that's good. Cool. All right, so let's.
Awesome. I love it when we get teams that are like in the
Local,
same area.
yep.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Hang out for a beer and play. Well, not exactly at this point in time, but.
Well, I mean, they are from Detroit, so they do have the Lions. So.
And the Red Wings.
They got to find their win somewhere else. So.
All right, so Lotus, you gonna be there? Test 1 2. Lotus.
Sorry?
There you are. Okay, you want to do the next one? Just doing a mic check for you.
Sure. So the next team is Seas of Cheese. Siege, Cone, and Sage are playing. So this is looking like an interesting.
These names are 5 letters or less.
I know.
Every name that we have had so far, it's just so long and so convoluted.
Yeah.
This is the
I just want to
easiest team
thank you.
name.
SAGE.
Oh my God,
we
this is awesome.
I mean, I can miss all the 3 names if you want. There's Siege, there's Cone,
Kone.
and Saj.
Sag.
Saggy. There you go.
Sag. Oh my God, this is hilarious.
Any Cliff's notes there, Disco?
I think I'm just gonna go with whatever Siege said about how the team was formed. We love Primus. We suck.
Okay.
So they've got a lot of confidence going into this.
That's good.
I respect that.
If someone's going to sub for their team, you must have 5 letters in your name or less. So you're not going to be wrecking that.
That's right. Yeah. The team name Cheese is actually longer than everything, so it's good. So, all right, so we're gonna go to the final one. I'll do this one. Oh yeah, totally forgot about that, Lotus. Sorry.
Yeah.
So final team, worst case scenario. So this is a pretty cool graphic. Not sure why they picked a cow. Why it would jump on a car, but
Okay, this has to be the best graphic of all of the logos here. I love this one.
Yeah.
so
This is hilarious.
Captain is Disco.
Oh my god.
So Disco for short. We got Snake Fods, Mentalistic, that's a tongue twister, and a Robot Chicken. I don't know if Disco has any information on this team, but would like to hear his input.
I like this team. Captain could use some improvement in basic skills like reading, but so I know Snake Fods from NPH and from from Legacy. Snake Fods is a very good wild player, much better than they are in standard, and they're good in standard, so that should really say something. So Snake found Mentalistic. Mentalistic is a legend level player. He writes the Paladin and Warlock parts of the Tempo Storm meta snapshot for Wild. And then I found Robot Chicken. Robot is a hunter expert like Duin.
Okay.
Very skilled player, frequently legend as well. And, I'm very excited to see what the team is going to do. I've been talking with them a little bit about what their plan is for next week, and they've got everything set. They don't even need me. They're ready to go. They're ready to beat some people, put some, wins in their column. So I'm very excited. Logo, the name came from Mentalistic. The logo was me saying, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen? And at my job, whenever we talk about worst case scenarios, I always talk about a bear trap. And I said, okay, what's the second thing? Because I don't think a bear trap will work. And I found a sign that has, warning, cows may fall from a cliff and land on your car.
Okay.
I said, well, that really does feel like the wild experience. So
That's hilarious. Like you would not be driving next to a cliff and be thinking, man, I really hope a cow does not fall on my car.
Yeah, I feel like a steak tonight, honey. What do you think? And then bam, you got a cow that smashes into your car. So
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
it also reminds. I don't know if anybody watches Trailer Park Boys at all, but some Rickyisms. It's just always reminds me of Worst Case Ontario. That's what he likes to call it. So it's a TV show. Anyway, I'll move on. Okay, so right now we are going to. That's all our teams announced for the Wild Series. So I'm going to get rid of some of the graphics here as it's going to disappear, and we're going to pop open the conferences. And then we're going to have the Wheel of Doom, as I call it. So the Wheel of Doom is in the middle. So what I'm going to do is each team is entered in the wheel, as you can see, with my wavy little mouse. And that team hopefully will disappear from the list. And we're going to do Disco to make the announcements. But we're going to start with Green Conference first to see which team's going to fall in Green Conference.
Yeah, so basically, just for new players here, the way this works is we're going to have 2 conferences, and you're going to play each player in your conference. And I'm not sure if we're doing any cross-conference play. I don't know if we are. Does anybody know if we are? I probably should know the answer to that question because I'm on the board. But does anybody here know if we're going to do any cross-conference play?
It could be, we'll say to be determined. So
yeah,
the season hasn't started yet, so it's easy to explain how the playoffs are going to go. But
yeah, so generally you do play all you're in your conference, and if the conferences are large enough, you don't play the other conference. But we have been experimenting with some cross-conference play, so we may do that. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Yep. All right, so we'll get to the spinning here. First team in green conference, which is purposely labeled brown in brown font, of course, and then brown conference is in green font, just for those people that are out there that happen to notice those things.
Oh, symmetry.
Yes. Okay, so here's the spin. Power creeps.
Power Creep's the first one to go in the green conference.
This always bothers me every time we do conferences, since the opposite color is the one. Like the green conference color is brown, and the brown conference color is green.
Yeah.
I no, mine can't do that.
It's like those games. It's like those games that you get that you got to name the color, not the word that says, or you got to say the word and not the color.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
The green conference team seething. So there's a couple good comments already. So that's good. So
Pasca team, right there, first one to go.
Okay, next team going into brown conference will be
Oh, there we go. Detroit versus everybody. Everybody. Oh my god. So there we go. Detroit off the table now.
Yep. Next spin.
It's a really strong team right there.
So, is there going to be a separation between the names that refer to cities or things like that and the names that refer to complaining about?
Nuke the Waygate.
Apparently, that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I'm getting it so far.
You guys ready to go?
So far we got Hearthstone memes and non-Hearthstone memes. Alright, well, there we broke it. Wild THL Fanatics.
Well, it can just be sports reference or even esports reference versus complaining about cards.
Green conference.
Based Inc. wants her own conference, so we're just gonna get Based Inc. Not even your team, just you in your own conference. The Biters.
The Bitters. Biters or bitters?
The Bitters.
Yes. We'll see the bitters.
Alright. At least we have chicken in the Brown Conference. And it's me, Mike V team.
Oh, I gotta shrink that. Okay.
Oh, now there's no more symmetry.
Patches paycheck. Oh my god. A paycheck. Why did I say paycheck? Payback.
I was wondering about that. I'm thinking to myself,
There's
forget a
Gonna
team.
put check in there. Oh my god.
It's
I don't know why I
perfect.
put paycheck. I said paycheck. Patches paycheck.
The team's name has been changed.
Oh my god. Patches payback. It's a Jerry Damage team.
And speaking of paycheck, you can always sub to the THL channel.
Nice little segue there. Born to be Wild, next in the Brown Conference. This is a find the team here. This is a 2-star Mako team. A bunch of good names in there. Microscod. What is wrong with me today?
Micro squids. Here we go.
I like a little accent there. Micro Squad. Agent PWE team. So another NPH team right here. So you get to play against Agent PW gets to play against Pasca. Nice. That's the thing I want to see. Gonna be rich. The Blase team.
Just gonna say it, Brazilian pride.
Worst case scenario. Disco team. And aren't you an NPH player as well?
Yep,
Disco.
all three MPH captains are in green. All right, Power Crease versus worst case scenario. This is going to be fun.
God.
I'm excited.
Also, why is it not worst case scenarios?
Sea of cheese. Seas of cheese. Or just team name, short name.
Yeah, 4-letter word, we'll call it. Here we go.
And F2L Viridian for Green Conference. We got 3 left. One of them is my team. Still have not been picked yet. That is changed. Brown Conference, Waygate to Hell. Good thing is we
At
got
least the
both.
Waygate.
Yeah, we're to say the same thing. At least they're in the different conferences.
Yeah, it makes it easier for
Okay,
casters.
yeah, I like that. Waygate to Ron, Mexico. That feels so wrong. Oh my god.
That's RONMXE. Oops, I messed it all up. Sorry, Ron. All right, so where's the 50-50
2 more left.
chance? I'm gonna guess explosive sheep, and I was incorrect.
You sunk my Haddle ship. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like Green Conference is feeling a little bit stronger than the Brown Conference.
I agree. I was going to say the same, but we'll have to see. You never know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just pointing out a lot of good teams in the Green Conference.
So Ron, I want you to spin it. Just tell me, type in spin, and I'll spin it. We got to figure out who the last team's gonna be.
Or let's not spin it and make this a surprise to be revealed tomorrow.
Let's see who's going to be picked here. And, oh, surprise, Explosive Sheep.
There are some
Wow.
moments where you know something's going to happen and you just wish it could change anyway. This is one of those moments. I really wanted something else to appear there.
So very interesting here. I think a lot of strong teams in the Green Conference. A lot.
Mhm.
I would have to say
Yeah.
a majority of the strong teams that I would like I think the top 4 of the top 5 I think are in the Green Conference. So this is interesting.
I'm really happy I'm not playing on my team because there's a lot of people in Green Conference I wouldn't want to play.
Yeah, I have, of my top 5 teams, 4 are in Green Conference.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
scared this is going to be.
Yep.
All right, so that wraps it up. So if people want to take a screenshot of this, please do so. They can flip it off into the Wild series thread there or channel in THL.
I'll send this to our head as well.
Yep. And so that brings us pretty much down to our final topic, which is going to be the quick top 5. So we'll roll through with Disco through the Pro Series, and what your top 5 was picked out.
All right, I have to go to my list. All right, so top 5 teams for Pro. That is F2L, The Unknown, Aeon, and Every Day We Triflin. Wait, there's one more that needs to happen, right? I counted
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. I promise I can also count. Last one is Tap Blast.
There you go. There you go. Dusharmo, who was your...
Okay, I'm gonna go with FTL as the number one team because they're the ones with a target on their back 2 seasons in a row. I'm gonna go with Aeon. I think they just got stronger by adding fuel to the team. Um, I'm gonna go with a team that I think not people are despite. I wasn't gonna put them in the top five, but I learning about them during the stream. Washu Mishas. I'm gonna put them up there, and then was that my four? I think that was
That was
four,
four,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put my team five, the unknown. I gotta love my team. I think I love my players.
I think you do too, so it's good. Lotus, what do you have? Mic check for Lotus.
I'm here. I think for me, I have to give my team. I think we're actually a good team. Bat to the Bone is going to make it. I think F2L is still strong and is still going to be standing strong. Tap Last, I think they're a good team and they're going to get there. Beard Boys, and Every Day with Triflin.
Cool. All right, for myself, no particular order. I got Bad to the Bone. I got Aeon. And I have Tap Last. And then I have F2L. And then I got to go with my home squad there with Stay the Blazes Home. If we're going to pick a wild card, that would be the Giddy Up and Go wild card. So
I'm calling it Washu Mishas is going to be the surprise team of the season.
yeah, I don't doubt that. So lots of strong teams in pro, but now we'll flip
And
over.
a wild team. There's like one team power creeps. I'm thinking just really strong.
So I'll start with the wild team, and then we'll just go in reverse. So we'll do me, Lotus, and Sharmo, and then Disco. So I'll start with no particular order. You Sunk My Haddle Ship. Explosive Sheep. At Least We Have Chicken. Born to Be Wild, and F2L. Lotus.
Okay, we have a few different answers. I think Hattleship, yes. I think that team is still in. Bitters, actually think they have a good chance. F2L Viridian, Born to Be Wild, and Worst Case Scenario.
Sharmo.
All right, mine. Number one, I'm gonna have to go with where is it? There it is. Born to Be Wild, number one, and these are all in no particular order, just top five that I think. Number two, Power Creeps. Sorry, I do have you up there. Number three is going to be Detroit versus everybody. I actually think some really strong players in the team. Wasn't originally going to have them in the top five, but they are now. F2L Viridian, I have them up there, and I'm going to throw in Micro Squad as the fifth team.
And then we got Disco.
All right, no particular order aside from maybe alphabetical. Born to Be Wild. The Biters. Detroit versus Everyone. Power Creeps. And Worst Case Scenario. Is it cheesy to call my own team a top five team?
No,
All right.
that's expected. So,
All right, definitely them.
well, that about does it. So we are closing in on 1.5 hours for the reveal stream, which is pretty much on time.
Can you imagine doing all four series in one?
It would be
sitting?
fun, but I think everybody would be asleep with all the details. Oh, here we go. Somebody found an air horn.
I'm awake. All right.
So
Awesome, guys.
But thanks everybody for joining. Thanks Lotus, thanks to Sharmo, and thanks Disco for all your time and effort trying to get all this organized, and thanks to Donde and Mako for making this work as well in the background. Want to thank everybody for joining the stream, and we will close this out. So everybody stay safe out there.
And thank you to Saku for doing all the hard work.
I didn't do anything. I just flipped pages and wrote stuff. That's it. So.
And also being very modest too. So thank you.
Yes.
Where's my money, Dusharmo? Where's my money?
I already paid you, man.
Oh shit. Okay.
Stop asking me
perfect.
for the money.
That's right. All right. So we are going to close it out. Enjoy your nights, everybody. And this will be on YouTube stream in probably about probably tomorrow. So have a good night.
Have a good night.
I hear you
Later.
got a problem.
Have a good night.
Getting ours nowadays.
You are not prepared!
Another round?